tonight at 10.
Tyre Nichols! Tyre Nichols!
Tonight, protests erupting in Memphis and across the country following the release of new videos showing a group of police officers violently beating Tyre Nichols. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Brent Solomon. Body camera footage and video from a security camera show what prosecutors are calling murder tonight. We need to warn you, the images are disturbing and very difficult to watch. NBC's Jay Gray begins our coverage.
Back up! I'm not doing it!
The video shocking. Memphis police violently taking down Tyre Nichols.
All right, I'm on the ground. Lay down! Lay down! Yes, sir.
Clearly afraid and confused, Nichols tries to run. Police fire a taser, then pursue. Bringing him to the ground, the officer's aggression building, using pepper spray, punching and kicking him in the head and face.
They have this like a baton that you pulls out, and they was hitting him with that.
Nichols screaming.
Mom!
No mother should go through what I'm going through right now. No mother. To lose their child to the violent way that I lost my child.
Her home, about 80 yards from where, after the beating, officers and paramedics leave Nichols on the ground with no medical attention for more than 30 minutes. The images sparking outrage in Memphis.
For this to happen here in my city, I'm obligated to come out here only because this is my heart and soul, and we don't allow things like this in Memphis.
Protesters spilling into the streets, at one point stopping traffic on the I-55 bridge. Crowds gathering in cities across the country, including New York, Philadelphia, and Boston, demanding justice for Tyre Nichols. Jay Gray, NBC News, Memphis.
And tonight, 2 deputies in Shelby County, Tennessee are relieved of their duties in the wake of Tyre Nichols' death. The sheriff made that decision after seeing that video. It's not clear how those deputies are involved. Well, just a few hours ago, people gathered in downtown St. Louis to share their reaction to the video of Tyre Nichols' encounter with police before he died. 5 on Your Side's Robert Townsend reports on their calls for action.
Here in St. Louis on this chilly Friday night, you can see several dozen people gathered in a circle outside police headquarters.
Say his name.
Tyre Nichols!
Say his name.
Tyre Nichols!
Furious members from the community group Expect Us, clergy, leaders, citizens, and lawmakers huddled in a circle to grieve with the family of Tyre Nichols and to show support for the Memphis man who died after an encounter with 5 police officers.
Are y'all tired?
Yeah!
I'm tired of coming out of these streets. I'm tired of crying over the blood that has been spilled in these streets.
The demonstrators blocked off a section of Olive Street for more than an hour. During their peaceful demonstration, they also didn't hold back their outrage after watching the body cam footage released on Friday.
This is particularly egregious. These are police officers who have sworn to protect and serve all citizens. These police officers had total disregard, not just for the law, but for human life.
We tired of it, and we ain't gonna take it no more. They will know that we want justice. We demand justice.
Robert Townsend, 5 on Your Side.
And moments after those videos were released, 5 on Your Side reached out to local police chiefs all across our area for reaction. And now the police chief of Pagedale is sounding off.
That type of behavior is totally unacceptable. It is overwhelming to see that. Man, I'm telling you, it looked like a gang jump in, like they was jumping him in to be in the game. Judging from hindsight on what I seen, oh man, they should be charged.
Stay with 5 on Your Side for continuing coverage of the Tyre Nichols case. We will keep you up to date on air and online as more news develops. Developing tonight, a man is dead after being shot in the forehead in North St. Louis. It happened 2 hours ago near North 19th and Palm Street. Police have not released information yet on what led to the shooting. We will continue to monitor this story and provide updates on air and on KSDK.com. Tonight, a battle over a bill over who should control the St. Louis Police Department. Senate Bill 78 would put city police back under state control. It would establish a board of police commissioners, 4 St. Louis members that the governor would appoint. Supporters say this would increase pay, morale, and recruitment, but opponents argue it would avoid tackling the root of crime problems.
What local control did was put politics in policing. And state control prevented that. There was a barrier between politicians and the police department. That's the way it should be.
Until we start to have those real conversations and the state invests in St. Louis in the way that has never been done, we're going to continue to get the same solutions, no matter if it's state or local control.
This bill still needs to get out of committee to move forward, so that means senators can make amendments or changes to that proposal. Tonight, an update on last week's deadly fire at Bob Kramer's Marionettes in the Central West End. Today, a source tells 5 on Your Side the medical examiner identified the victim as Bob Kramer. He and his partner, Doug Delch, were on the 2nd floor of that building when it caught fire. Delch was taken to the hospital for minor injuries. The cause of that fire is unknown. Bob Kramer was 77 years old. New tonight, St. Louis County Police searching for a Castle Point man. They say Julian Jones is accused of having sex with a minor who later became pregnant. Jones was charged last week with rape, but is not in custody. He was last known to be in St. Louis or O'Fallon, Illinois. Anyone with information should call Crime Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS. Developing tonight, Annie Malone, the latest victim of car theft. The agency says just before midnight yesterday, someone sold this 2017 Kia Soul from their crisis center. The company uses it to provide reliable transportation for children in need. Annie Malone is looking for other options until that car is recovered. Tonight, the St. Louis Regional Bomb and Arson Unit looking for the person driving this truck. Investigators say she's connected to an attempted arson in Soulard that happened at a business on January 16th between 9 and 9:30 in the morning. If you recognize this truck, you can call ATF at 188-ATF-TIPS. The agency is offering a reward of up to $1,000. Well, a staple in the Hill neighborhood was vandalized this week. Police say someone threw a patio table through the front window of Adriana's. Despite the damage, business was booming as usual, with supporters packing the place today to show they care. Well, the Hazelwood School District is calling on the Department of Energy to help with getting all of its schools tested for radioactive contamination. Jana Elementary sits on the edge of Coldwater Creek, which was contaminated with radioactive waste in the 1940s. The school closed back in October as a precaution. Students and staff were sent to other schools. Now, there are conflicting reports over whether there's actually contamination at Jana right now, and there are concerns growing over whether other schools in the district could be affected.
There are multiple stories and allegations of soil movement throughout the community and potential just through water and wind.
The PTA of Jana tells 5 on Your Side they're not expected to return to Jana this school year. They were told the Army Corps' cleanup should happen this summer. Taking the oath. We'll show you the naturalization ceremony where dozens of immigrants became U.S. citizens.
And it was windy today, highs about 55, unbelievable, way above average. We're going to do that again tomorrow with that wind and then a chance of rain and maybe some winter precip. I'll time it out for you coming up.
Today, 100 people became U.S. citizens during a naturalization ceremony at Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. Ceremonies like this one help students and even citizens witness the naturalizations. With your weather first forecast, I tell you what, it's cool, cool, cool. We're not really warming up, are we?
Yeah, well, you know what? 55 today, so that way above average.
Today, I'm talking about the weekend.
Oh, well, tomorrow
I'm looking ahead.
Yeah, we have another one, another beautiful day tomorrow. I know, it's we work so much, we forget how warm it was today. But tomorrow, same thing. Then we get really cold by Sunday, and then we're going to stay cold. It's going to feel like winter next week. But 39 right now, you know, after that high of 55, 25 for that low, and 41 and 24 are the averages. And it looks look at these records. 71 way back in 1944, but minus 14 in 1936. It's not going to get that cold, but definitely colder by Sunday. So the wind calmed down today, 35-mile-per-hour winds earlier. Now we're seeing very light wind that'll stay with us tonight, but those peak wind gusts from Lambert, 35 miles an hour, Chesterfield, and also St. Charles. And of course, that wind is really light now and will stay light throughout the night, but picks back up again tomorrow. Overnight lows expected to be in the upper 20s to low 30s. So we started out really cold this morning. So Britt was right on it. And then we warmed up nicely because we're in this warmer sector. A warm front pushed through here. And now there is an Arctic front just to the north of us. It'll become stationary, but eventually it will move through here tomorrow night, and a wave of low pressure moves through, and that's going to bring in just a little bit of moisture, probably 1/10 of an inch of rain, and then maybe a little winter mix, but not expecting it to be an issue. Look at this, 10:30, 10:40 tomorrow night, somewhere around that time frame. We're expecting a chance of some light rain showers, and you see the salmon color and a little bit of purple. That is the chance of some drizzle or freezing drizzle, and then also maybe a couple flurries, but it dries up quickly, and then Sunday's mostly cloudy. And then during the week, we're just watching waves of energy, mainly south of the metro and possibly into our southern counties. It looks light at this point, and most of it down into Arkansas and places like Texas. So it might bubble up as we go into Wednesday. So something we'll keep our eyes on. But for right now, it looks really light and probably not a big storm by any means. So 55 tomorrow, and it's windy, 35 on Sunday. So there's that cold that Brett and I were talking about. Monday and Tuesday, upper 20s, 32 on Wednesday, and that chance of a mix of winter precip, not only tomorrow night, early Sunday, but also Tuesday into Wednesday. And then by next weekend, Brent, we're a little bit above average in the lower 40s.
Yeah, but back to my point, 20s on Sunday, 16 the next day. I think I see that.
Yes.
I pay attention, Jim.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Some very cold weather's coming.
All right. Thank you, my friend. That's all of our news at 10. We've got Corey Miller, though, with 5 on your sideline.